Welcome to the Reparenting Daily podcast. In this podcast, we'll dive deep into reparenting, exploring tools and resources to help us through our journey. The podcast is divided into 3 sections. First is a reading. Second is a discussion of the reading, followed by a journal prompt. And the last section is a peaceful meditation for closing. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening for whenever and wherever you're joining us. Thanks again for being here today. Much appreciated. I appreciate your dedication and your consistency for reparenting yourself. It requires a lot of effort, discipline. So these are all things you're building if you're still following and doing this every day. If you're still journaling every day, meditating every day. Yoga, stretching is also very important. Exercise coming in your body. Taking care of your body with good nutrition. Reparenting is really important. And I'm glad you're taking the time to join me on this journey. Okay, today's reading is coming from the ACA's Loving Parent Guide book. Today we're on chapter 6, Discovering Your Inner Teenager. Today we're going to look at common triggers of the inner teen. So we're going to go read the introduction and then the part about real or imagined criticism as a inner teenager trigger. So this section is titled Some Common Inner Teenager Triggers and Reactions. My inner child needs comforting. My inner teen needs to be noticed in her anger. Fellow traveler. The inner teen can be triggered by unmet needs, theirs or those of their inner child. Some important inner teen needs are fairness, respect, autonomy, authenticity, integrity, to matter, to be seen, and to be heard. When these needs aren't met, the inner teen can act out in rage, frustration, resentment, contempt, distraction, and/or impatience. Inner teenagers can also feel deep loss about the lack of support and guidance they received during adolescence. Their inner teen's reactions are designed to help provide a sense of power. But it is false power. The inner teen tries to control rather than feel out of control. Angry or resentful positions like, I'm right, you're wrong, or you heard me, now I'll hurt you, usually come from this acting out place. If reacting in anger doesn't quiet the unpleasant feelings, the inner teenager might try to distract from or stuff the inner child's painful feelings and pretend they don't exist. They might act to suppress the feelings with substances or compulsive behaviors. Sometimes the inner teen may try to control out of control situations by resentfully compensating for absent or unhealthy adults. They take over situations and attempt to control others. New projects, opportunities, or relationships might trigger the inner child's abandonment fears. The inner teen might spring into action to reduce these uncomfortable feelings. They can become uncooperative and temperamental on teams. They might panic and assume responsibility for more than their share. They might procrastinate, avoid situations and people, and fall short of commitments. Inner teenager trigger, criticism, real or perceived. When someone judges us or criticizes us today, the inner child might take it to heart and feel hurt. The inner teenager might argue and try to prove the other person wrong to distract from those painful feelings and validate the inner child. This might only occur in our head and build resentment, or we might get directly into heated conversations or arguments. The mental replaying of the situation over and over, ruminations, shifts the focus away from the inner child's more vulnerable feelings. Unfortunately, rumination creates anxiety, dread, or being overwhelmed, which eventually causes the inner teen to lash out, withdraw, or withhold. Thank you, and that's the reading for today. Hi guys, welcome back. Thanks again for being here today. Today we're looking at the inner teen triggers, and specifically looking at the trigger of criticism, real or perceived. It's a really interesting reading. To be honest with you, despite a lot of how long have I been in this work now? About 3.5 years. I still have these triggered moments. I mean, I don't think honestly the triggers ever go away. You just become more efficient at managing them, which thank God I have. Still not perfect. I don't think perfection is ever reached, but you strive towards improvement. And I have had so much improvement in the past few years, and it just goes to show that dedication and consistency, such as daily reparenting, daily being with yourself, daily defending yourself, daily nurturing yourself, spiritually, physically, with your nutrition, with your social connections, you will see change. It is like the bonsai tree, the logo. Slowly, day by day, every day, we trim, and over time, the tree, ourselves, our souls, even as Jung used the metaphor as the oak tree, right? We are nurturing ourselves, literally, as they nurture the bonsai tree. And so, even though after the first day of trimming, maybe the first week of trimming, or even the first month of trimming, the changes might be difficult to spot. But I can assure you that over a more extended period of time, they will come to fruition. And so don't forget that, and keep your focus on maintaining the garden, on doing the slowly but surely steady dedication to the daily practices and the habits that you have to help repair yourself. And you will come over them, such as these inner teen triggers, if that's something that you're still struggling with today, which many of us are. Today, I would encourage you to reflect about and journal about your inner teen triggers and reactions. Are you able to notice that here in the reading, the section angry or resentful for positions like I'm right, you're wrong, or you hurt me, now I'll hurt you, usually come from this acting out place? How often are you acting out? Are you able to catch yourself in the moment? Or is it something that comes the day after or the week after the emotions have settled and you've had some space to reflect? Don't judge yourself, but be honest with yourself about how long it takes you to practice and to process these acting out moments, these situations, these reactions. Gaining awareness of that will allow you to address it more effectively. And lastly, think about this all in the context of criticism, perceived or real. Reflect on how your triggers in those scenarios respond to your reactions to criticism. Thanks again for being here, and as always, be well. And now, let us move on to the final section, the meditation. This is an unguided meditation. I will simply provide some music and you can take some time to relax. Please feel free to choose a location and a place where you feel safe and where you can be undisturbed for the next 10 minutes. You can choose to be sitting down, standing, as you like, wherever you are most comfortable. Thank you for being here and enjoy the meditation.